Lawmakers have now gavelled in for the start of a new legislative session here at the Iowa State House. So over the next several months, they're going to get to work and try to get their priorities across the finish line and signed into law. Local 5's Megan McPherson live right now at the Iowa State House. And Megan, right now, what are lawmakers discussing? I know that you were just sitting in there.
Yeah, Joseph, good morning from the Iowa State House, where the 2025 legislation has kicked off, legislative session rather, has kicked off. Legislators in both chambers just having taken the oath of office. That's really sort of the start of a new legislative session. Now, also of note this morning, U.S. Senator Chuck Grassley is here, of course, in support of his grandson, Pat Grassley, who was just also sworn in as the Speaker of the House. He's also still currently speaking on the floor, but I wanted to highlight some of the key points that he was mentioning, some of his legislative priorities. Now, a couple things that we heard from him. He talked about healthier foods on Iowa's plate. He also talked about more flexibility to spend federal funds, and that's why he started a new committee for that. He also emphasized how state dollars can be used to address workforce shortages and continuing to deliver economic relief and shift the focus to property taxes, which of course we know is going to be a huge focus for Republicans during this session. Now, Grassley also spoke about Governor Reynolds' proposed cell phone ban in K-12 classrooms across the state of Iowa. It's something that we heard her talk about in those last few months of 2024, and something that we will probably hear her talk more about in her condition of the state address tomorrow. Now, again, that's something that's going to be happening here tomorrow at 6 p.m. at the Iowa State Capitol. That's where Governor Reynolds will outline a lot of her legislative priorities, and that really kind of sets the groundwork for the rest of the legislative session. Of course, as you mentioned, over the next several months, lawmakers will be working quickly to file as many bills as they can, trying to get those bills to the finish line and get them into law. We'll have to see what ends up being sort of the big topics of debate. But again, property relief, the state's higher education system, even marijuana legalization. That's something that House Democrats are actually looking at, something that they've emphasized as a priority for this session. So lots on the table. There's going to be a lot going on over the next few months, but we will be here to cover it all. We're live at the State House. Megan McPherson, Local 5 News.